Hey YouTube fam, it's your girl V the Notary. Hope you guys are doing great today. I miss you guys. I've taken about 2 weeks off from coming to you guys with any content, but your girl has been sick. I'm just finally feeling better. I thought that I had dodged all the nasty germs and the cold that everybody has been getting. But as soon as March hit and all this pollen and everything, I thought it was just my sinuses, but I caught a full blown cold. My voice was very mannish. I'm just kind of getting my voice back and not sounding all nauseated up in here, but I'm feeling better. But I wanted to talk to you guys, okay? We're gonna have a deep conversation today, but before I get started, you guys, if you are new here, please subscribe. If you're not, welcome back. But please like my video, share, get down in these comments. Let's have a great conversation. So let's get into it. So you guys know what I do. And for those of you that are new here, I am a realtor. I am a notary and loan signing agent, all things that come with general notary. And then I am also a full-time federal employee. And we're going to talk more about this whole everything that has happened in these 60 days for the federal employee landscape as well as government contractors, okay? More specifically, targeting towards the federal employees. So it has been quite the whirlwind, to put it, you know, to say the least, right? And lots of things are happening. We're nearing the middle-ish, endish of March, and are people are losing their jobs. They are, okay. Um, so far, because I got, of course, I'm going to be very careful with what I say in this video. With I'm towing the line and I'm trying to keep it very real with you guys, but you know, as of now, I'm fine. Outside of having to come into the office full time, starting next month. But yes, I am okay. Everything is going okay. Everyone in my office is okay. Um, we did lose my director. That's a whole other story that I'm not even going to get into. I mean, she's alive, but she parted ways with the government. And, I'm not going to even get into that. So outside of that, everybody in my office is fine. Um, but I know several people that have been laid off. Um, some friends, some people that I worked with at another agency. I'm not going to mention the previous agency that I was at, but I know people who got caught up. I know lots of people that got caught up in the probationary employee firings. Several at my agencies, lots at other agencies, in all different states. It's kind of like anybody can get it type of thing. But now we're in a phase now under this presidency where agencies have been directed to conduct RIFs, which is reduction in the workforce. Okay, that's what RIF stands off. It's essentially being laid off. Depending on the amount of time that you've had in the government, you get a severance package that comes with it. It's honestly, especially for people that have been in the government and have a long tenure in the government, the severance package is surprisingly pretty generous, but it doesn't negate the circumstances surrounding it. And so, am I worried? Yes, because it's just kind of like no holds bar. Anything's kind of going. I don't necessarily understand the rhyme or the reason to why certain agencies are doing so many RIFs. There's no rhyme or reason to who is getting RIF. And essentially, when some of this was coming down the pike, people were thinking, okay, maybe it would be the lower grades who are going to get RIFed, or it would be employees that have not been with the government as long. And that is not the case. Again, it's veterans, it's women, it's men, it's there. Again, I don't know the rhyme or the reason to how people are being selected on getting RIF'd. Well, we know why certain offices are being RIF'd, i.e., the EJ offices, environmental justice offices, civil rights offices, DEI offices. We know, I don't agree with it. However, we know the premise behind it, right? But there are certain agencies that are being RIF'd, and I don't, or they're being more aggressive with their RIFs. And I don't necessarily understand why. Um, it's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate for a plethora of reasons. Um, and I don't foresee this coming to an end. And it's just, it's sad. And it's like, a lot of people's lives are being affected. People are having to scramble to figure things out. Um, People whose jobs are very, very valuable, who the mission of their job is very, very valuable. And you know what? I'm just going to say this. I believe that, let's have a real conversation. I think federal employees, we get a bad rap. I really, really do. Number one, I think most people don't understand what people in the government do. And I think that we are labeled unfairly, oh, they're lazy or whatever. And that is just not the case. There's always ebbs and flows with every career. You have busier seasons, all of that, right? And that is in the private sector as well. But I do think that we get a very bad rap. Is it rap or rap? Both. Y'all know what I meant. We get a bad rep or rap. As federal employees, we it's like we're deemed as wasting taxpayer dollars, and that's just not the case. Like, there's so many really important, really intricate, really amazing missions that these different agencies support. That's number one. We just get a bad rap, and I don't understand where it comes from. Well, I have my opinions on that I'm gonna keep to myself. Number two, going back to my earlier point, most people don't know what the government, y'all don't even, most people don't even know what the three branches of the government do. Okay. So to be so opinionated on us, and then you don't even know how the government functions, and then you don't know what each agency has a very specialized mission, and each of those missions goals at the end of the day is to protect Americans or to provide some type of service or benefit for Americans, whether it be for the VA towards veterans, energy saving, it could be, what the Department of Education have many functions. So it's not just, these agencies are not just for fluff, right? I think, again, we can say this ad nauseum. Nobody just wants wasteful spending or fraud and all that. So we all understand that. Um, but it's just very debatable how things are transpiring. And yeah, it hits me close to home because I know so many federal employees, not only my colleagues, not only the employees that are at my agency, but just friends. I have very close friends, some of which have gotten laid off. Um, and yeah, people are afraid. People don't know what to do. And so that's just one aspect of it, right? And then we have the other aspect of it, which um, you guys know that what I do in my career is that I have a long-standing relationship with government contractors. They're being affected too. A lot of people's contracts are being canceled, obligations being thrown out the window, for various reasons, anywhere from IT professional contracts, consulting contracts, all kind of contracts are being canceled. So it's not just federal employees. But that's going to trickle down to however you think it's going to affect us, and us meaning the American citizens. That's going to trickle down to everyone. If you are a Social Security beneficiary and you're receiving benefits, if they are laying off half of the agency, that's going to affect your benefits. If you are waiting for your tax returns, you pay taxes, whatever, and they're laying off 75% of the IRS, or I forget the percentages there, that's going to affect you not only in your tax returns, but you being able to get a hold of the IRS, because we already know that's hard enough to do, right? If you frequent museums and the parks, park services, they are being affected as well. I mean, I could go on and on and on. We could literally go to every agency, and then the different things that are happening we can talk about. It's not just affecting us. Obviously, it's a direct effect if someone is being RIF'd or if they're being fired or whatever, but it's also a trickle down effect to everybody. So people need to think about that too. But I just wanted to make this video, one, just because there's just so much going on. I've been trying to remain quiet, and impartial, specifically on YouTube, because it's just things could get so chaotic and contentious, and I don't want my page to become that. But I'm praying for federal employees. I'm praying for family members of federal employees. I'm praying for veterans. You know what I mean? There are a lot of things that are happening with veterans that are, it's just not right. It's just not right. For you to serve this country and then to, just lose your job just willy nilly is just not right. And so they're just, I just think that as a country, we need to be more compassionate. And, if you are a federal employee that's been impacted by RIFs, layoffs, there's full agencies that are potentially, and they already have, but are potentially moving locations. That's a major thing too. If you have your whole life established in Denver, and then they're moving whatever agency you may have regionally in Denver, and they're moving it to Connecticut, that's going to be a price change. You're going to change your kids' schools. That's a climate change. And that's stuff that you might not be prepared for. So it's hitting close to home for me. And again, I am nervous. I'm being prayerful and being positive, and I'm really big on, especially now, like really trying to manifest positivity into my life, and just knowing that, regardless of what happens, I'm going to be okay. But it is very scary, and the unknown is very, very scary. But as a federal employee, and then it's hard because it's like, I'm really I'm obsessed with the news, and I've really been trying to, like, okay, just let's not even focus on the news. You have so many other great things in your life, but then it's hard because it's thrown in your face. It's so hard to not think about that kind of stuff, because it's like, okay, how can I not, when not only am I seeing it every day in my career, but I have friends and family sending me articles, co-workers sending me articles. There's things happening at my agency, at my friend's agency. There's things in the news, things that I don't agree with. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's almost inevitable that this is gonna, like, permeate my life in a way that I don't necessarily want it to, because I just want to focus on being a good person, being a good mom, being a good friend, all of those things. Those are the things that I would prefer to focus on. And it's really hard to do that. So, yeah, people are getting fired, people are getting laid off. And I just checking in with y'all. I'm okay as of now. Keep me in your prayers. But it's like the wild, wild west right now. And we just don't know what is about to happen. So, I just wanted to kind of vent to you guys, and just you do a little check-in with you guys. I try to be as transparent as possible with, like, things that are happening in my life and my career, and just bring you guys little tidbits that maybe can help you. So, but I want to know how y'all are feeling. Let's try to be positive. I would, if we can, stick to just what is happening with federal employees. I don't want us to, like, be going back and forth. Y'all are actually really good about not doing that. I don't really have trolls on this channel, thank God. There are a couple people who get snippy with me here and there. I just get snippy back. I'm gonna read you in a nice way, if I have to. But for the most part, you guys are really respectful, so I appreciate that. But if you have any advice, anything you're going through, anything you want to vent, please drop down in the comments. I always share my email for every single one of my videos. So if you want to email me, please feel free to do that. And as always, like I said, like, subscribe, share. I am almost at 5,000 YouTube subscribers, so I appreciate all of you. My goal is to, like, by the middle of April, get to 5,000. So that would be great. I appreciate you guys. And, as always, again, like, subscribe, share. And I'm feeling better, so I'm going to try to bring you guys more content this week. Okay? Have a good one, you guys. Bye bye.